and you will go for the lack of parking fuss. Convenience on wheels, how great it feels to relax and ride the bus.
What? Right, this is literally the worst thing in the fucking world.
No, you love it. You love it. Hey,
But I couldn't
live.
think of anything I'd want to do less than ride the fucking public transit right now.
We are live. Give me just a second to get it actually rolling here. If you would just keep it quiet over there, Drew.
I'll admit, though, it did make me want to ride the bus. But then I was like, wait, that's awful.
Okay, we're getting going. Here we go.
East Coast Horror Group.
Star.
Yes, something like that.
Suffer on the bus, suffer on the bus. Do you remember that story?
Okay, I am attempting to go on live. So, okay, it looks like we're back, everybody.
Do you remember that story, Tim? And also, you know what? I'll tell it later. Sorry.
Yeah, Drew, we're trying to get this going. Okay, we're gonna try this again. This is take 2, everybody. Well, let's try it again.
East Coast Horror Group.
They're here.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
East Coast Horror Group presents Dead Art Movie Reviews.
Salutations and mutilations. You're listening to the East Coast Horror Group presents Dead On Movie Reviews. Tonight, we present horror movie reviews and lively debate here on EastCoastHorrorGroup.com and on future select Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can join our live chat at that time by clicking on live shows and join us on our YouTube live event. But you have to be on the YouTube page to join the chat if you're watching this live. There it is, somewhere over there. Click on the YouTube, get to the YouTube page, and jump into the chat. I'm your host, Tim Kretschmann, and we're coming to you from the East Coast of Lake Michigan. It's my honor to introduce the Faculty of Fear panel presenting tonight's lectures. And we are going to start with our special guest panelist, Portia Chellelynn. We have the Portia cam on. Portia has been in over 11 films, including a film screened at Atlanta's Days of the Dead, Candy's Harem, and is currently producing a number of projects. Let's give a warm Dead On Movie Reviews hello to Portia Chellelynn. Hello, Portia.
Hey guys, what's happening?
Fantastic to see you, and a very happy Shark Week to you. Remember,
right, you
remember
too.
to
I didn't know
keep.
it was Shark Week.
Oh yes,
Nobody knows. Nobody cares.
It's cute. I have my shark tooth on right now. Right there it is.
Stop it. Get your face off that fucking screen.
Yeah,
I'm
hey,
scared of sharks.
that way I get to put her on too. So okay. Next, we're going to introduce a very snarky young man who a lot of people really legitimately don't like. He goes by. I'm just telling the facts. He's known as Little Baby Drew Face Poos Seidler. It's Drew Seidler.
You know what? Let's do this. I'm going to show you that I'm going to take the high road, and I'm going to do this. Tim, I want to tell you how grateful I am for the work that you put in on this show day in and day out. We couldn't do it without you. I've grown to know you over the years. You're a great friend. I love you, and great job.
Hey, and we all kid and jest. I don't go on a plane to see anybody get married, but honestly, I couldn't believe somebody did. All right, so next. Next, we have the founder of East Coast Horror Group. He is the coach. It's Coach Michael Exler. Hello, Coach Mike.
Hi, Tim. Thanks for the wonderful introduction. And I'm happy to have our guest on, Portia. So,
Woohoo!
I think it's going to be a fun
Thanks
show.
for having me, guys.
And now, Portia, one thing you have to keep in mind. When we're doing our reviews, this is an interactive show. You don't have to just sit back and take whatever we say. You can ask us questions and really run us through the ringer, okay?
Oh, I'll be sure to give you some shit. Don't worry.
Oh, well, she was talking to you, by the way, Drew.
I was
All
talking
right.
to you. I was talking to you, Drew.
Oh, me? Wait, why am I?
He
I've
can
known you
take
for
it.
I've known you for like 48 seconds, and you're like, yeah, I'll fuck with you. That sounds good.
Perfect. That's exactly the way we like it. Okay, so we're going to go into our first set of lockers. There we go. And Drew, it is time for you to tell us, what have you been watching?
I watched a film called A Cure for Wellness, a 2016 film. I'll just tell you this straight off the bat: 2 hours and 26 minutes.
Wow. Well, who wasn't this?
Titanic.
Somebody famous directed this thing? Who the hell was it?
Kevin
Gore
Costner.
Verbinski.
Okay, the guy that did Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
Okay,
Was Kevin Costner in this movie?
What the fuck would Kevin Costner be in this movie?
because it's
for?
2 hours
He
and
had-
29
Yeah, he had,
minutes.
he had a
Oh,
great
I
idea
get
for
it,
the day
you're
to
right.
have, 7-hour movies.
Was
No.
Leonardo DiCaprio in it? He did a lot of long ones too.
So,
Drew, you were asked a question.
no, that is not true. However, the lead actor, whose name is Dane DeHaan, was also in a film that everyone has seen called Two Lovers and a Bear.
What?
You can look it up.
Oh my god. All right.
So that's what we're dealing with. He was also in Life, which I did whatever the last Select Tuesday was.
Yeah, the
Martin
last
Lawrence did.
time.
Anyways, so I was kind of looking forward to this. I caught wind of it just, through the grapevine, and it seemed like kind of like one of those artsy horror films. So I did have an expectation that I was going to like it going into it. So you just take that as you will, I guess.
Okay.
So I'll just read the IMDb description out loud. An ambitious young executive is sent to retrieve his company's CEO from an idyllic but mysterious, quote, wellness center at a remote location in the Swiss Alps, but soon suspects that the spa's treatments are not what they seem. So the protagonist is basically a Patrick Bateman clone. Not as crazy, but just as much of a douchebag. Just a Wall Street kind of swarmy fucking CEO type. And basically, they send this guy out to recover the company's CEO because they want to blame a bunch of shit, shady banker stuff on him. So when he goes out there, which is in the Swiss Alps, which is a beautiful setting, but when he gets there, no one's allowed to leave. He kind of realizes that you don't leave once you get there, and what they're providing is what they call water treatment. Now that sounds like waterboarding, but it's not. It's just like basically water aerobics and shit everywhere. And it's just a bunch of old people like playing chess and doing water aerobics.
Did you accidentally watch Cocoon?
You know what it sounds like to me? There was a movie with Matthew Broderick and Anthony Hopkins,
Glory. That was a good
Road to Wellness or something like that. No, it was about Kellogg, the guy that started Kellogg.
The guy that did cereal.
Yeah, and he was into like a spa, like a weird spa. They were doing like enemas with cornflakes in that movie. It was good times. I'll look it up. You keep
No,
going.
please
there,
don't. It's fine.
Yeah, you don't have to do that.
I'm doing it.
You just
So, I mean-
reminded me of the caterpillar too. Ugh.
Road
The
to
human centipede?
Wellville. I was close. Road to Wellville.
So it's not anywhere near what the name of this fucking title is.
So what does Glory have to do with all this?
You said glory, and it doesn't mean anything.
No, I distinctly remember you telling us it was just like Glory. Drew, you have to listen to your own reviews.
So the Civil War, Black Soldiers.
This bullshit. I'm done with this.
Drew, please finish your review.
So I mean, it's 2 hours and 26 minutes long. I watched this fucking movie for 90 minutes, and it's basically just a shitty fucking swarmy CEO lounging in a bathtub. You find out that there's maybe these little microbes that make you feel good, and I fell asleep. It was fucking awful. All right, that's all I gotta say.
Oh wait, I gotta bring up the screen for it here, and I played a little music here. Okay,
Did you ever
Drew.
finish it, or was it just that bad?
It was bad, dude. It was not interesting at all.
You literally fell asleep during
Yep.
the oh wow. So what's your score gonna be? I say as if I don't know.
F.
F.
Oh.
Wow, that's harsh.
Well, if you didn't see the ending, how do you know?
Yeah,
No,
it probably
man,
improved, Drew.
It could have had like a totally crazy, fucked up twist. And you don't
You
even
know what? I'll watch the second half, and next Tuesday, I'll
No,
do
the next
half
select.
2 of A Cure for Wellness.
Drew, the next select Tuesday.
That's right. That's right. So at least I should probably split this fucking thing up into 2 movies because it's 7 hours long.
All right. Well, thanks, Drew. That was mercifully short. Now, was there any gore or anything in it?
No,
Nothing?
it was just creepiness.
See, the
It's
pictures
like you're in a
that I
hospital,
have,
you can't leave, but you feel good, right? And I'm just like, this is dumb as fuck.
the
More than
pictures
that.
I found were of like leeches and stuff.
Yeah, there were like these little mini things in the water, and they're like, make sure you drink a lot of water while you're here. And we're like, wow, could you put up my fucking face any closer? If there's something wrong with the fucking water, leave a little mystery to it, you cock.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, I feel like you're
This was
holding back.
fucking
Drew.
stupid.
I feel like
If I
you're
wanted to watch
holding
people
back.
take a bath, I'd go to Pornhub.
Well, you know what I don't like? When Drew gives something
Or
an
check
F,
out
I
Mike's
usually...
home cam that I have a connection
Drew,
with.
you're the one that liked Antichrist, and that was a gigantic piece of shit. And now,
No, that movie was Jaws compared to this film.
oh my god, my god! I
At least
was
the first 90 minutes of it before
See,
I lost consciousness.
I wanted to see this because I have liked Gore Verbinski's movies. He did that Rango or whatever, the animated film, and he did Pirates.
Tell you what, though, if it doesn't have Johnny Depp in it, it's not going to be any good apparently because this was complete trash.
Wow. Whew. Bringing the heat. All right. Well, we're going to move then. Get the little sound effect going. There we go. And we're going to go to you, Portia, as our newest guest host here. Portia
Hello.
Chellelynn, what have you been watching?
Well, I was watching the Belko Experiment. It has a lot of notable actors in it. You got John Gallagher Jr., which he's actually kind of a newcomer, but Tony Goldwyn, Greg Henry, Michael Rooker. Michael Rooker is the reason I really wanted to see it, of course, because I'm a big
He's on all
Walking
the
Dead
posters
fan.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the guy that actually did the Guardians of the Galaxy, the writers and directors from that, James Gunn was the writer and director is Greg McLean. they were the same ones.
James Gunn directed this?
No, he's a writer. Greg
okay.
McLean directed it.
Gotcha.
But they were both involved with Guardians of the Galaxy. They've got several actors from it too. So
Okay.
it's like they used a lot of the same, or a lot of the big actors, or the same actors from stuff they've worked in before, because they already knew them. Kind of seemed like they had a relationship built already with the people that they worked with, which kind of was, I think, kind of hurt them in the end in a way, because well, they have close relationships with all these actors, but they didn't really portray that, and they were trying to get that across, I think, in the movie, the relationship with all these people, but it didn't really, for me, work out, because they didn't show, I don't know, much emotion or any backstory in between, or any backstory at all, kind of with them. I wish they kind of went right into it, which is good for some people that like that direct action, straight to the point, there's no dicking around. I mean, it went straight into boom, everything, action. From the moment you watch it, It's a thriller, horror, dramatic. It's got a little bit of like subtle, organic comedy to it.
Is it just basically Hunger Games in an office building or Battle Royale in an office building, right? I mean, that's kind of
what a lot of people that have reviewed it already compared it to. I've never seen the Battle Royale, but yeah, a lot of people compared it to that.
Have you seen Hunger Games?
No.
How about Running Man?
I was very sheltered. I didn't get to actually.
Sheltered.
I didn't even get to watch.
No,
I didn't even get to watch MTV like at all growing up or anything like that until I was like a teenager and out of the house. I didn't have my own TV really until I was like 21, so I didn't watch a lot of movies or anything growing up. It kind of all got thrown on me as I got older. So I'm just now catching up, just getting into the movie industry the last few years. I'm trying to learn names and watch as many movies as I can because people ask me about stuff all the time. I'm like, I don't know. But
you came to the right show. We're ready to go with references. But I keep feeling like this movie keeps getting made.
Yeah, this is not an original idea whatsoever. But the way that they did it, I mean, it was really good. Gore, the effects and everything they were awesome. It's worth watching. At least once, I'd say. They're set up in Colombia. It's a company that helps Americans in South America to get. They help people. They're in another country. They're in Colombia, and they help these people get jobs. It's a company, the Belko experiment.
Oh, okay.
The company Belko is it's a company.
Right.
And they help other people get jobs. It's basically just a fake company run by the government to experiment on these people. And there's 80 people locked in there. They keep turning people away, and they're like noticing that things are kind of different as they're showing up for work this day. And like there's different security guards and everything else. And they're like, what the hell is going on? Well, they have these microchips placed in the back of their necks.
Cool.
Well, they're told that it's to be able to locate them because there's a lot of kidnappings in the Columbia area, right. And they'd be able to locate them. But in reality, they've got these like explosives or something in them, and so they're setting them up. So this is kind of a spoiler, but not too much. But I mean, they kind of hide that fact at first. They're kind of making you think, okay, is someone shooting from somewhere? Like, what's going on? So heads are exploding and shit, and you got people getting smashed in the face with axes.
What are the stipulations, though? What are the stipulations of you have to,
kill
how
or
you
be
survive?
Killed.
So just the last man standing?
Pretty much, yeah. You start out with 80 people, and then
hold on, just a moment. Drew was being very sexist there by saying "last man standing."
I mean, that's
and you know who doesn't stand for that, Drew. You know who's very upset about that.
Oh, Jesus.
That's right. It would be the commissioner of the MCAA.
The MCAA? What the fuck is that?
Movie Council Associate. I don't know. Whatever. The commissioner would like to talk to you about your sexist ways. Commissioner.
That is not true at all. Not true. I'm not even gonna respect this at all because I didn't say anything sexist at all.
It was my opening, buddy.
Fucking phrase, last man standing. And you're like, you know what? You didn't say last human being standing, so you go to PC jail.
That's right. That's how it works.
Also, this director directed Mike Wolf Creek, your favorite film of all time.
Oh, yeah, don't get him started on that. Don't get him started.
Are you over there looking directors up?
I did. I looked up your film, and so I could talk to you about it.
We also have a chat room that typically Googles stuff and throws stuff at us as well.
Yeah, they tell me when I'm wrong, which is most of the time.
Yes, that's our favorite activity. Well, Gunn made what the hell was the one with Nathan Fillion? Squirm, or it was something like that.
I think it was called Your Mother's Huge Dick.
Oh, thank you for that. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue with the review. If Drew will just quiet down, you can continue with the review.
Well, anyway, it's a kill or be killed. You start out with 80 people. They say kill 2 people, or everyone's gonna die. They're on lockdown. The whole place is it's kind of cool how they do it. It reminded me of like I don't know, 13 Ghosts or like Resident Evil. How they're on like lockdowns, like all the windows and everything start just slamming shut. Michael Rooker and him, he plays like a maintenance guy or something. They're down there trying to weld through the metal, and you could touch the metal right after, and it was still cold. Like there was no getting through it or anything. There was no escaping. But what I didn't get is they were, after the heads would explode, they started collecting these out of the back of their head, these explosives, but they've already exploded, and they kind of use them towards the end of the movie to explode again. And I'm like, how did they explode again? I didn't get that. But maybe they should have been a little more clear about how they make them re-explode.
Doesn't Michael Rooker just have that fucking big spike that he drives around with a whistle? Like, can he just get out of there?
Right? You would think. Not in this one, he didn't.
No, he's not allowed to bring props
I thought that once
from
you're in
other
the movie,
movies.
you get that power forever. Are you telling me that that's not real?
He didn't play your typical role in this movie. He wasn't like the badass like he normally is in most films. I mean, he wasn't
have
like
both hands?
He had both hands. He did have both hands. Yeah, that's why I have a big dent in his head, but that's for another day when you watch it.
He had a big dent in his head.
You'll see.
Maybe I'll never watch it, never see.
Well, they had
now
exploding.
You have to watch it just to see what I'm talking about.
I have to watch the other half of the movie I reviewed first.
I am just amazed at how many of these things that she's bringing up. It's like, oh, I remember that from Running Man, or oh, that came from Escape from New York, or it seems like it's a whole lot of different movies. And knowing that it's James Gunn that wrote it, and by the way, the movie I was looking for earlier.
New York.
Well, and by the way, James Gunn said that it came to him in a dream. He woke up and he sat and he actually tore his spine, something to do in his spine. What was fucked up because he sat there for 2 weeks straight, just fucking writing it after he had this dream of it.
Wow.
I mean, who hasn't worked in an office building who thought, you know what, today I'd like to fucking kill everybody, and they made the movie, which is cool.
Well, Drew, I'm hoping that doesn't.
In court.
He said he woke up, he had a dream of the trailer.
Hold on, just for the record, I don't think of ways to kill my coworkers. That is a Drew experience.
I might think of them, but I don't do them.
And the police are here. Hold on a second, guys.
Go get them. Yeah, this movie. Now, is this more of an action movie or more of a horror movie? Because I can see it go in either direction pretty easily from what you said.
It's got a lot of blood and stuff, but I think it's more of a thriller action than anything, and then horror. And then a little comedy, just kind of in there here and there, like I said, little subtle things that they throw that kind of, it's just definitely entertaining the entire time.
Sounds like exploitation.
It's definitely entertaining, that's for sure. It never stops. Like it's just boom, 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 one thing after the other. You're not bored. Like I said, it's good to watch one time, but then after that, though, you'd be like, well, I've seen 1,000 of these, though. You know, it's just done a different way. I mean, it was done good. I mean, they put a lot of time and effort into it. The acting, I mean, they had a lot of good actors in it and stuff too. It was pretty good. I mean, there was a couple that were like so-so, but for the most part, everybody and everything in it was really good. I liked it. So, I mean, I can't complain too much. I just think it just wasn't original. That's all.
Right. But if it's done well, you can forgive that. I also see that one of my favorite actors, John McGinley, is in there as well. He's the guy from Scrubs. That's kind of the older guy.
Oh yeah, dude.
But
he's in a lot of stuff.
He was in a Stephen King or Dean Koontz movie. What the hell was it that I really enjoyed when I was growing up? It was something like Intensity or something like that. And I always thought he made
a great
records
before
villain.
you?
Okay. There it is. That hurt my feelings, Drew.
Oh man,
I'm looking at the cast list, and about half of these guys I've seen either on television or in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, Sean Gunn, he is freaking hilarious. I didn't know his name before this, but I mean, I'd seen him in other stuff before. But he plays like a little pothead. Like, they get told that they're all about to die, and he goes up on the roof and he's smoking weed. He's like, oh, he's like, they're all just trying to fuck with our heads, and then this girl's head explodes in front of him. He's like, fuck, and then he's like, it's all in my head. It's all in my head. The rest of the movie.
Dude, John McGinley was in Office Space too.
Yeah,
there's a connection.
We
There's
just
a cool
got
connection.
Ben in the chat room was telling us that as well. Also, Sean Gunn, he's also in Guardians of the Galaxy. For those that aren't familiar and don't have a picture of him in front of you, this is the guy that played Michael Rooker's first in command.
Right, the guy that he beat up all the time.
Yeah, he was kind of like the sidekick in that, and he is really good. Every time I've seen him show up, he steals the scenes, because I know in the last Guardians, I don't know how you felt, but I thought Rooker stole that movie, Guardians 2. But
I never watched it.
I thought he would have had more of a role in this one. He really, I mean, he didn't have that much of a role in this one. He kind of did, but I'd like to have seen him more.
Wow.
Michael Rooker.
Okay.
Yeah, he was. I don't want to spoil it, but he just wasn't in there that much.
Okay. Well, he does tend to come across accidents fairly frequently in his films.
Yeah.
Not to the effect.
He tends to piss people off too.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Well, I think we're getting to the point where you probably want to give us a grade. So we'll get out our report card here. And Portia, I don't know how to read your review. I'm thinking this is a positive review, but I'm not quite sure where your report card's going to come in. So what would you give this as a letter grade?
Well, I would say a B.
A B, a straight B for
Straight B.
the Belko experiment.
B for Belko. There you go.
There you go. All right. Well,
why are we turning to pirates all of a sudden?
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, we all turned to pirates.
No, that was your movie, Drew. That was shot by the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean. That was you.
Idiot.
You loved that movie too. That's what I
Maybe you all like the other one. It's fucking awful what I saw of it though. God.
Book me. I'm always done for a good penis, man.
All right,
Right
it's time now. It's time now for our good buddy Mike. Mike, what have you been watching?
So I decided to watch a 2016 film. This is a Netflix original film. Now, they've been knocking shit out of the park with their original series, Stranger Things, Glow, Orange is the New Black. I can continue on and on. So I figured,
go ahead.
Well, no, I'm not gonna. So I figured, well, they're doing
House of
pretty
Cards.
good. House of Cards, yes. I don't watch that. You watch that?
I do.
Cool.
I like Kevin Spacey.
Who doesn't?
I love it. Yeah.
He was in Seven, and he was
He
very
was,
good in it.
he was also in a lot of other movies too.
Yeah,
American Beauty.
that movie sucked.
What?
What?
It's a bag. It's the most beautiful thing
You're
ever.
the dumbest fucking dude in the world. Shut up.
I loved American Beauty.
The guy should have put that bag over his head. End of movie.
That would have been a fucking awesome ending. I'll give you that, dude.
So, the title of my film, and this really
Tell us
bothers
what
me
you
that I'm even giving this film any sort of attention, because I hate films with titles that are so long that annoys me. But the title of the film is "I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House."
Is this autobiographical for you?
No, I'm not pretty or a thing.
It's actually it's actually a spin-off of the Diary of Anne Frank.
No. Well, that might have made it better. So the synopsis is quite quick on IMDb. Wish I would have liked the movie to be this quick. A young nurse takes care of an elderly author who lives in a haunted house. Now, for people that listen to the show, and you guys ad nauseum know that Portia, I am a big fan of ghost stories. I like them. I find that they're one of the only things left that scare me in the horror genre. So I was like, okay, I'll check this out. It was 89 minutes. That's 1 hour and 48 minutes long. And this film has the innate ability to take an hour and 48 minute long film and make you think that it's 6.5 hours long.
We had the same movie. We must have watched the same thing.
Did you finish yours?
I did finish mine.
Oh, okay.
Sadly.
Well, you get an A for effort then.
He's watched some truly horrid things, so that's par for the course. I don't know why you power through that stuff, but go ahead.
Slaughtered Vomit Dolls, dude.
This one was tough to make it through. I mean, if I can make it through Slaughtered Vomit Dolls, I could probably make it through.
Hold on, let's check the Portia cam. Have you ever heard of that movie, Portia?
Which one?
Slaughter Vomit Dolls.
Never.
You never heard of this?
You are a better person for not.
Yeah.
You should be in the next one.
Oh no.
Well. If the first one's bad, why the fuck do I want to be in the second one?
Right.
Well, some people love them.
Well,
No. Have you ever met somebody?
Mike has.
I have met people that like.
I found it really hard to review movies when you're making them because you know how much work and stuff goes into them. You know how hard that everybody works just to pull them off, and it's like everybody that does it thinks that it's a masterpiece when they're putting it together, you know. And so it's like I feel bad for crushing anybody's heart, but somebody's got to do it, I guess.
It's just like an hour and a half of girls vomiting on each other.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yep.
That's gross.
So,
yeah.
Whatever his vision was, he needs to be blinded with a fucking iron.
So there's no one really in here worth talking about that anybody would really know.
Okay.
I'm looking through it, and I don't see anybody that I recognize so far.
I recognize no one on screen at all, and I don't think with whomever wrote the script it would have mattered what cast there was. I did read that Deborah Harry was initially attached to play Iris Bloom, but
who is that?
She's the lead singer of Blondie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's also.
Wait, hold on. Roll back. Drew, you didn't know that? That's something I actually knew. What the hell?
Yeah, dude, because I was like 7 years old when Blondie was out, dude.
She was also in Videodrome, one of my favorites.
Okay.
Blondie, I think I've told you guys, Blondie scares me. The song Tide is High.
What are you talking about?
I am serious. Every time I hear the song Tide is High, something horrible happens to me. I lost my wallet once with it. I got into a very bad argument that I had to flee the scene from when that song was playing.
No, we can't hear about that argument.
There is shit goes
like, I hate
down.
What's going on? And run
when I hear that song, I leave a room whenever I hear it because
you keep trying to talk over it.
It is a freaking ghost.
Situation where you fled an argument.
Because you know that I'm a coward, and the guy was pretty big, and I ran.
So you just said you're an asshole and ran away?
It was getting to the point where I thought somebody was going to rear back and slug me, and I thought this is a good time for me to get the hell out of here. And I ran with a quickness.
Wish I was there so much to see it.
Move on. Mike, move on.
Was it a low-budget film, Michael?
No, it was not. Let me see.
There's not a lot of, like, as I'm looking at it, they don't have, like, a lot of,
there's not a lot of,
but what I'm seeing, it looks like a costume drama of some kind, so they might have put the money into the production instead of the acting
I'll
talent.
get this out of the way. It was very well shot. The cinematography was good. They were very capable in that aspect of making the film.
Okay. So well
done. It's sort of goes back to being a period piece because you keep jumping from present day to the past.
Okay.
To find out sort of why the house is haunted, but they don't really ever tell you why it's haunted or even who haunts it. But it's haunted. That's all you need to know.
She doesn't know it.
But it is
I
a
knew
pretty thing.
I knew I should have stopped watching the film when the first 10 minutes of the film was this girl narrating a picture of a girl that kept like fading in and out. That was 10 minutes. I was like, oh, so it's an art house film. That's fine. Whatever.
No, that's never fine. I've told you that before.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think I'm just not an art house fan. I don't know if I would consider this an art house fan or an art house film. I think this is one that was really trying to be one, but really didn't have anything of substance behind it. It really set out, I think that was the biggest problem. It really set out to confuse the watcher as to what the haunting was going on. The main character is Lily, played by Ruth Wilson.
Okay.
I have no idea what this chick has been in. Known for absolutely nothing. So that makes sense. But she, I guess this is what the director wanted from her, but it was one of the most wooden performances ever. I can't think of someone. It was almost like she was reading off of cue cards. It was set in the 80s. That's how they took the cell phone aspect out of it. But I learned something new. She plays a hospice nurse. Now, I understand that hospice nurses come in and then I guess they sit with you until you die.
Right, pretty much.
And they starve you. They starve you.
I thought that
they just keep increasing your fucking medicine until you're fucked.
Yep.
So I thought what a hospice nurse is like one person comes in for a shift, then the hospice
Oh yeah. It's more like that.
And
Yeah,
another one comes in for their shift, like
right.
You know, 12 and this chick moved the fuck into this house.
Oh no, dude.
She had her own bedroom.
You can pay for that because usually at that point they only last 6-7 days, because if you starve somebody, they're gonna die in 6-7 days.
She at one point in the story she had been there 11 months. So
you don't die of starvation for like 7 weeks.
The lady was not dying, so she was there well over the year towards the end of the film. God, how much more bad could I say about this film?
What's weird is when you put when someone's on hospice, it usually does
3 or 4 times. And it really, I don't mind a film that makes you, I don't know, question what's going on or, try to figure out what's going on. But in some way, shape, or form, give me a fucking clue. And then especially to end the film, and you literally have really no idea what the fuck you just watched. And not in a good way. Not like, I want to, sleep on this and then talk about it with my friends tomorrow. No, there's nothing to talk about because they just don't tell you fucking anything. It's an hour and 48 minutes of drivel. It's garbage. I would not recommend this film to anybody.
Okay.
I'm reading a lot that a lot of people are comparing it to like The Witch and just saying like it's everything that The Witch did wrong put into a different movie. What would you say about that?
I would agree with that. The Witch was very pretentious. Like I said, this film wanted to be that, but it wasn't. Maybe they were also. I could also see them trying to get the gothic horror feel to it, the Hammer film feel to it, and I despise Hammer horror.
Yeah, we know.
It would be great to watch, to paint a ceiling and watch it dry. Cut the grass and watch it grow. Gothic horror is completely boring to me. But at least Hammer films, like, they're like, okay, here's your protagonist, here's your antagonist, here's your story arc.
Yeah.
And there you go. This had none of that, so you were just kind of out there in the breeze.
So what would your grade be on it?
I want to stray as many people away from this film as possible, so I give it a F.
Wow. I was figuring you might give it a D. I thought you might slide off at the last second, but you went full F.
No D minus?
No. I mean, the cinematographer, he did a great job, but he should be more selective on the films that he takes.
Wow.
Yep.
That's pretty harsh right there.
I am not letting you watch my film when it comes out. I don't even want to know what you're
That was
saying.
actually one of his easier ones, so that's pretty
He
good.
didn't threaten to kill or maim anyone in that one.
Yeah, he didn't
You
talk
guys
about.
are not allowed to watch my movie.
Well, wait, I have one to light up, and I'll go into mine now. Now, mine takes a bit of explaining. This one is called Double X that I'm seeing. It's called
Is it
Double X.
just the movie before Vin Diesel's movie?
No, this is not the sequel either, and it's
Double X booby?
It's not pornography, unfortunately.
Is it like what? If Triple X is pornography, Double X is like what softcore porn? It's like
Softcore.
Yeah.
It is not. It's not that.
Yeah.
What XX stands for is the double X chromosome, like in a woman, which of course, Drew, you hate.
Not true at all.
It is true. We have documented proof.
I will admit to saying that I wanted to kill everyone in an office building. I will not, however, admit to me saying anything sexy.
Okay. The idea behind this movie is it is an anthology movie. Okay, so somebody's trying to sell their short films. There are 4 segments in it, and every segment is made by a female movie maker. Okay, so actually, pretty cool idea. I wonder how they're going to be, and all that. Like every anthology movie ever made, there's segments that you like more and segments you like less. So first, what did I notice throughout? This is one of those movies that people describe as mumblecore or mumblegore, and I'm not really sure what that means, but I found that online.
Where'd you make up that word at?
I'm serious. You can look it up later.
Wasn't that piece of shit movie where they all came to dinner?
That was
they all started to get.
What was it? They come or something like that. What was it?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
with the sheet mask.
Yeah, we saw it together, and that movie was terrible. We couldn't stand it.
That's mumblegore. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so
I sadly know what you're talking about.
Okay, this wasn't as bad as that one, by the way.
Get Out? Is that what? No, that's not what it was.
No,
obviously.
it wasn't Get Out. What the hell was it called?
Somebody on chat will tell us.
Yeah, Ben, get on that. Mumblegore, genre where people don't speak clearly. Well, okay, yes, Ben's got that down.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, it is true. They're not speaking all that wonderfully. There was an overwrought score. They had a lot of music in it. But I will say this. Every single sequence, all 4 movies, very well produced, good actors. You're Next is the name of the movie. That's the movie that we hate.
I knew it was too fucking
And Ben
words.
likes that movie, so now he's using foul language in the chat. Which, of course, we allow.
The movie should be called Drink Bleach. If you like it, drink bleach.
Oh my God.
Did you see that sweet GIF on Facebook now that I just typed "kill yourself" in the thing, and it had that little flashy thing with a bottle of Clorox that just said "drink up" that was flashing on it?
Oh, God.
My favorite GIF of all time.
All right. So let me get. I got to get through 4 different movies here.
Oh shit, you do, huh?
Oh yes. So the first one was called The Box. It was set at Christmas. No, get it out of your system. Get it out of your system. I certainly would not have started my movie made by female filmmakers. I would not have started with one called The Box, but they did.
One of the writers is Jack Ketchum on this movie.
Yes.
It's very catchy.
Jack Ketchum wrote the story behind The Box. And it
I'm
is
interested.
God. So there's like this freaky guy on a train. There is a mother with her daughter and her son that are with him. It's Christmas time, and the boy asks, "Hey, what's in the box?" Because this freaky guy has a box in his lap. So
did Morgan Freeman come on and say, "No, John Doe has the upper hand"?
Yeah. Okay. So
That's the worst impression
ever. That was. Yeah, we're taking
I need
points
to work
away
on my
from
Morgan Freeman impression. It'd be way better if it was Michael Klein.
All right. Okay, so the kid takes a peek into the box, and after he looks at the box, he is mesmerized by the box, and all he can think about is the box, and he
Sounds
can't
like a
help
typical guy.
to talk about the box, and he wants the box more than
Not
anything.
exactly subtle.
And it just goes on for about 15 minutes and it's done. Honest to God, it isn't much of a payoff, and that's what I would say of these mini movies. Usually the best part in an anthology horror movie is a twist ending or a good payoff.
Mm-hmm.
This movie cut before the good payoff, or they just couldn't think of good payoffs, and that's what happened. Like this movie, this little section, you're kind of like, okay, and you shrug your shoulders and you're on to the next one. I'm not gonna
Did you get blue box?
Yeah, I'm not.
Sorry.
Oh, she's naughty. Yeah, I mean,
Use the word naughty.
yes. But anyway, it is
Sexual.
it doesn't really go well. I'll spoil it a little bit. Let me put the spoiler on there. The kid stops eating, okay, and the kid is slowly wasting away.
Eating the box.
He won't eat.
We said at the exact same time.
No, he will not even smack his lips, and he's slowly wasting away. This is the big horrific thing. Honest to God, that's it.
And you got me laughing in the middle of it, too.
It's
You're talking about this horrific thing, and they're laughing about it.
Anyway, it mostly makes you curious about what's going on with the box.
No.
All right, moving on.
I don't recognize any of these actors in this one either.
Some of the actors you've seen in TV shows, but they're not huge stars, which leads me
Like
to this.
River Monsters on DC Discovery.
Yeah. Well, the next movie is called The Birthday Party, and the mom in this one, and like most of these had a mom involved, the mom in that one is played by the woman that is the stalker of Charlie on 2.5 Men. Okay, if you remember her. So she is this woman, and she finds her husband. There's going to be a birthday party for her kid. She finds her husband who OD'd, and she is just trying to hide the stiff around the house before the kids come for the birthday party.
Why would you call it the stiff of all things you could have called it?
The box and the stiff.
I have a feeling.
You got to put the stiff in the box.
Yeah, I have a feeling you would figure out why I used the stiff. So anyway, she just doesn't know where to stick it. Can't find a place for the stiff. Looking throughout the house, looking for any
That's the guy's
opening.
job to know where to stick it.
Well, that is
Sometimes
the
you gotta help
problem.
a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing. You would
We
think.
don't come with manuals to know where to stick it.
But here's the thing. You would think this would be like The Trouble with Harry, which was Alfred Hitchcock's movie about hiding dead bodies, or Weekend at Bernie's, which is about hiding. And you think it's going to be humorous and all this.
Telltale Heart.
It wasn't funny. It wasn't scary. It just kind of sat there. You're like, oh, for goodness sakes. So that one also not a good payoff. Then we go to the third movie called Don't Fall. And this is a
Very good
camping.
advice, I'll say that.
It's called Camping and Climbing Trip. They're out in the woods.
Oh, wow.
And they see a weird cave drawing. Flash forward like 10 seconds, and one of them, apparently because they looked at the cave drawing, became a werewolf that they saw on the cave drawing.
Seems
That's
plausible.
pretty sweet.
Yeah. and just kills everybody and it's done. It's like they don't even establish the character. Nothing. It's just like werewolf, people die, moving on. And I'm like, you didn't build anything. It wasn't scary because it just happened and it was all done. I was like, well, it would be like Jason when he's chasing down somebody. He's always like chasing them down, or he at least ambushes them and they get to see the face of their killer. No, it's like, bam, dead. That's it. Goodbye. Next. And there's only 3 of them outside of the woman that turns into the werewolf. There's only 3 of them to kill. So it goes like bam, 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 and it's done. I don't think that whole sequence was more than 10 minutes. I'm like, well, that's a commercial break. So then they go into the 4th movie called...
Wait, do you remember the beginning of the Twilight Zone movie with Dan Aykroyd?
Yes.
That was a cool short werewolf, kind of a cooler short.
That was decent. Wasn't it the framing story? I think they came back to it a couple times.
Yeah.
Now, they do have a framing device to this movie. And it's like this. If you liked the opening credits to American Horror Story, it felt like that. It was just kind of like creepy images of dollhouses. Which, again, sexist as hell. There's a bunch of creepy dollhouses that come to life. And like, whatever. Okay, so then we get to the final one, which is the best of the bunch, and that ain't saying much. Her Only Living Heir is the name of it. And, okay, let me hit the spoiler, because there's no way to describe this otherwise. It's Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, so it sucks.
It's Rosemary's Baby. I don't know. You might actually like this better than Rosemary's Baby. The thing that it is mercifully short.
That was the problem with Rosemary's Baby, is that it drug on for 3 days.
Goes on forever. This is mercifully short, but it has no suspense. You figure out who he's the only living heir of, like that. Of course, it's a short film, so you can't drag it out too far. But it's like the sequel to Rosemary's Baby. There's no other way to put it. And again,
sequel to them?
It's a single mom. It's a single mom again. They have a lot of mom in these movies. So the hardest part for me...
You haven't tied a sex reference into this show.
I'll try to do that next time.
Okay.
Yeah. The hardest part for me, and
there you go.
I want to make sure I emphasize that. Hardest part is, how do you grade one of these anthology movies, because they're each, different. They all have their own way. And that is what I'm going to do. I'm taking the average of them. I will say, universally, across the board, the acting is decent. The production value is decent. They spent some money. But there's no payoff. So you don't get scared. You don't get a weird, creepy ending. It just happens in front of you. And for that, I can't really give it anything more than... You know what? I actually wrote down 1 grade and I'm changing it. I'm actually taking it down a notch. Because I don't want to give it a passing grade. I'm going to take it to a D+. It's just... It's not good enough to be a C-. It's not horrible. It's not completely despicable. But it sure isn't anything I would get excited about. It's not something that I think you need to go see. It's really kind of a crap sandwich. But that's my movie. And we are to the end of the show, where we go around the horn and we talk to everybody about what they're up to. And we first, of course, our guest gets to go first. So, Chellelynn, Portia, where do we find things about you?
Wait, where do you find what about me?
Where can we find out more about you on the web?
Security number and the back 3 digits on your credit card.
Yeah, we need that too.
No, you're gonna actually find me on I have my website, PortiaChellelynn.com, and
pull that out.
most of the time, though, I'm active on Facebook, which it's /Chellelynn213 if you look me up. Or you can just type in Portia Chellelynn on there in the search, and both my pages come up. So.
And we will have links to all of the above in our show notes from tonight's show. And I see you got a picture there with Sid Haig on your IMDb, and Bill Moseley and Kane Hodder.
Oh, love those guys. Yeah, love those guys. They're awesome. Sid, actually, when I just seen him at Days of the Dead Indianapolis, he's like, well, why didn't you have me in your movie? Mm-hmm. When I told him I made a movie, and I said, well, I can't afford you yet, but I'm hoping the next one I can. He's awesome. I love those guys.
Yeah, they're great. Okay, Drew, do we go to Drew next? No, we go to Mike next. What's new on EastCoastHorrorGroup.com?
We have last week's episode with Rick Fusselman talking about Toy Hio, which is this Saturday.
Play the ad.
Niles, Ohio.
I have been sworn not to do that. Here's Toy Hio, which is coming Saturday, July 29th, 2017 from 11 a.m. till 6 p.m., everybody.
That's right. So come on out and buy some toys. We also have the D. Snyder panel. We have the old George Romero panel from Culture Shock, so check that out. And like I said, we have a ton of free content on EastCoastHorrorGroup.com. We have Days of the Dead Hall of Fame that I was part of, inducting Sid Haig into the Hall of Fame. We just put that out there. The next one we're going to put out is, I believe, Friday the 13th. So always new content on EastCoastHorrorGroup.com, so go check it out. And it's all for free.
There's a lot of fantastic stuff. And some people have asked, do we have to watch it on YouTube or can we download it on iTunes? We still have our iTunes link. Go to the website and you can subscribe and automatically get every one of our shows we release an audio version. At minimum, we always have an audio version. Sometimes we have video, but at minimum, we always have the audio version, and you can get all those. And I can tell you, those panels in particular are great in the audio version, because a lot of times the video is just them sitting there talking and all that. But
who wants to see my ugly fucking face?
You know what? Though the video is really great if you're watching the Twisted Sister D. Snyder, because he doesn't sit down. I think maybe 3 times in the whole deal.
He tries to sit on Drew's face. It was weird.
That didn't happen, but I would have been okay with it.
It's at the 35-minute mark. Just trust me.
Nice.
Okay, so. Drew, what's coming up on Thursday?
Remember when Tobin Bell got up off the stage and we all thought he was just going to massacre the audience?
I don't like to joke about Tobin.
Things happen. Drew, what's coming up on Thursday?
Check us out Thursday, of course, every Thursday from Dust Till Con Radio. We'll talk about Toy Hio a little bit, and I'm sure we will.
What was that?
That was your ad that you did, dude. That was me imitating the ad.
That's totally not right, but go ahead.
Other than that, obviously, if you're watching live, subscribe to the YouTube page. If you're watching this on or listening to this on iTunes, make sure you go to the YouTube page. You can download all the content there as well. It is not monetized. There's no commercials. You can download it for free. That is East Coast Horror Group on the YouTube page. You can check out the panels there, as Mike said. Otherwise, just make sure you turn in. Make sure you turn down for what? I'm just going to end it with that.
Yeah, I think it's best that you do end it. Okay, we're going back. Yeah.
You mean end it all?
Can I say something before we go? Coming up, Horror Society is showing one of my films that I'm in, Cellar Secret. That's coming up August 11th in Chicago, 7 p.m. BYOB at Bucket of Blood. And then August 19th is the premiere of The Clown That Dies at Midnight. That's going to be at the Patio. August 19th from 3 p.m. to 1 a.m. Big party. Lots of directors, people there. Free admission to that one. So I just want to throw that out there.
Fantastic. If you have links to those, why don't you shoot them over to me, and we'll put those in the show notes as well. And people can check out the details there, because seeing it's in Chicago, there's a few locations in Chicago where it might be held.
Yeah.
Big
I'll
city.
send you that info.
Fantastic. So I think we have come to the end of the program. Portia, thank you so much for coming on tonight's show. Yeah, we're
Thanks
gonna
for
miss
having
you.
me.
It was great having you on the program. We wish you all the luck and success with your upcoming films, and we invite everybody to check out your website.
Thank you.
Do it.
Mike and Drew will see you
Just
on
do it.
Thursday night at
Maybe you will, maybe you won't.
jeez, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know, it is so hard to close the shows with you guys because you
I know.
just
I mean,
pick
I
on
just
me.
try to fuck with you. All
You
the time.
just
You just
pick
stay
on me.
on all night forever.
Oh,
You still have that teddy bear in the background, which is weird.
Do you still
What's
have
wrong
people
with the
listening? We
teddy
could
bear?
just stay on.
the teddy bear
Yeah.
is just fine. Don't worry about the teddy bear. He's
Fucking weird, man.
It's not weird. He
Fucking
watches
weird.
over everything.
You're a grown ass man. Get that fucking teddy bear away. At least put it somewhere where nobody can see it.
Teddy bear's right
Fuck
there.
you.
You
What
like
the fuck
the
are you
teddy
wrong
bear.
with you?
You like the teddy bear. Don't
Jesus
give
Christ.
me shit over the teddy
And his
bear.
legs
If
are
it's
spread.
not
You see
Ted.
his beard? Look at it, dude. It looks like his legs are spread open. He's like, give it to me right now. He's in the position.
That's because he's
Don't ever
seated.
say that again, Drew. I almost threw up.
Yeah. First, we find out Drew wants to kill his coworkers. Then we find
Wait,
out
no.
he wants to
Seriously,
masturbate
can't
with a
circle
bear.
back to that again,
He wants to
because-
masturbate with a bear. This is where we're going
No.
with this. All right,
No.
everybody. Thanks for tuning
Never did a
in.
good job.
We wish you the best, and we'll be coming back on a future Select Tuesday. Isn't that dramatic?
I didn't sign up for all this.
What did you sign up for exactly, Mike?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like magical dongs.
It's like a best of.
Magical
I hate
donkey.
it more than anything.
Dongs, dude. No, dongs.
Magical dongs. What movie was that?
I don't know.
I think it was
just a
something
statement.
like Killer Dong, Evil Dongs, or something like that.
Dong.
It was something from Trauma, I think.
Evil Bong was a trauma film.
That's what I'm thinking of, not Dong.
Deviant dong.
Shit, I forgot to ask you about your shirt that you were wearing at Days of the Dead Indianapolis. Damn it.
Ew.
Oh my! I have no tit shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that got a lot of